Okay, we have Sanjay Nirupam there talking about what he calls the arrogance of the party and the 5 power centers within the party. Tehseen is with us, so I think it's only fair that I start with you. You're also from Maharashtra. You continue to support the Congress party. Do you have any empathy for what Sanjay Nirupam is actually saying today when he talks about the 5 power centers? Of course, he's very upset about Mumbai Northwest. That's a seat he wanted to contest. He argues against why the Uddhav Sena got to dictate terms. He argues against why the son of an Eknath Shinde Sena leader has been fielded by Uddhav Thackeray there. He calls out K.C. Venugopal, but he doesn't actually spare the Gandhis either, whom you constantly support. Do you have any empathy for Sanjay Nirupam? What do you make of his statements? And of course, there's the larger great Congress exodus that we're looking at today. Tehseen.
So if you're specifically asking about Sanjay, yes, of course I have empathy. I do agree to most of what he said. We've spoken about it, you and I, Barkha. And I don't think Sanjay was the most dynamic leader Congress had, but he left Shiv Sena, he came to Congress, he was a Congress leader. How can, if conversation is going on with Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray group, they declare seats? I said this on your show last time. What is their locus in declaring seats? And I find it extremely, Asif, if you can, I'm getting extremely disturbed, Asif. Sorry, it's just the voice is coming. Sorry, that's why I slowed down. So if you can just think about the Congress party right now, the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group that does not have a party, does not have a symbol, is dominating the party, the Congress. The Congress is the biggest party in Maharashtra in opposition. It was born in Bombay and Pune, and the Shiv Sena is calling the shots. Who's the Shiv Sena? Really, who's the Shiv Sena? Who are they? I'm very honest. I sound brute, but why? Mr. Pawar, as per reports, is closing up to Prithviraj Chavan. Or Prithviraj Chavan is closing up to Mr. Pawar. Why? Who has destroyed the Congress in Western Maharashtra? The Pawars. I've repeatedly, none of this what I'm telling you, Barkha, you will bear testimonies. I'm saying it today. I've said this repeatedly to you. How long will they continue to destroy the Congress? And you have to call it full stop. The problem is we don't have an Ahmed Patel anymore. That's the problem, Barkha. We don't have an Ahmed Patel who will pick up the phone. And those who actually who can do it, they don't want them to do it. They are living in a parallel universe, this coterie around. It's now mind-boggling, and they don't realize who the people are. So today a spokesperson is also left. Who chad out this spokesperson and made him such a big star? Who chad out him?
You're talking about Gourav Vallabh.
Yeah. Who gave him two tickets? I'm not against Gourav.
Who today said, "Mujhe roz bola jata hai to attack Sanatan Dharm, to attack individual leaders, so I can't do it."
Now, this same guy, in his Rajasthan election, said Modi is 70 years old, Modi is scared, unhone dawai kha li, ye kha li. See, Gourav is a great spokesperson. He was a very good spokesperson to Congress. But you gave him 2 tickets from 2 different states. He lost both the elections. Who asked you to give so much? And then after the person lost, why can't you identify people, loyalists? How can you be so out of touch with reality? So Gourav was extremely talented as spokesperson. You could have used him there. Now, there is a massive problem. You've got to accept that the party is having a problem. And rather than addressing these problems, the party is allowing itself to be dominated by those smaller groups that want to walk over the party. I'm again saying, let me come back to Maharashtra. The Shiv Sena has no base. It's lost its core voter. And the Congress on a platter is giving its base to the Shiv Sena. And believe you me, the Congress will regret this in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is where the Congress is born.
I need to open this, but who do you singularly blame in the Congress for this? Sanjay Nirupam blamed 5 different power centers. Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, K.C. Venugopal, and Mallikarjun Kharge. Who do you blame?
You have to come down to one. So the Congress doesn't have an Ahmed Patel anymore. It simply doesn't have an Ahmed Patel anymore. Somebody who could actually pick up the phone and solve the issues. If need be, sit on a flight, sit in a bus, go there and solve the issues. You don't have an Ahmed Patel. The BJP has an Amit Shah, a Nadda, a Bhupinder Yadav. The Congress doesn't have it. Those who think they are playing the role of Ahmed Patel cannot win elections from their state, are making terrible statements about people, have been the reason why the Congress is destroyed, and see themselves as chief ministers where they won't even win basic corporation elections. That's the problem. That is the problem.
Okay. Before I
remember, Ahmed Patel could win Lok Sabha elections. Remember, Ahmed
Yeah.
Patel could win Lok Sabha elections.
Okay, Dilip Cherian first, because Dilip is not just a political analyst and understands everything about political communication, but Dilip, you've observed this in your own family. You saw somebody who was with the Congress for many years and got disillusioned, went across to the BJP and did very successfully in the recent elections in Himachal Pradesh. You tweeted about how happy you felt for Mr. Harsh Mahajan, your brother-in-law. But the larger picture, there must be so many Harsh Mahajans, and that's the point Tehseen is making.
I think the point that Tehseen is making needs to be buttressed in one specific area. Every state has a tragic story. Harsh's departure from the Congress was based on local Himachal issues. The fact that you have a mother and son duo there who are actually running riot and attempting to make themselves bigger than they are is really the reason why Harsh decided to call it quits. I think that there are similar issues in multiple state organizations. And I think that this all stems from the fact that there is no unified leadership, which is 24/7, taking political wisdom from people smarter than themselves. So I've said three things here: 24/7 leadership, willing to take advice from people smarter than themselves, and having the right kind of people within that coterie who can and will work with the state leadership. I think unless these three things are brought about, you are watching a one-way decline of the Congress party. But Barkha, the more dangerous thing is to follow. The more dangerous thing is that if the Congress does maintain or retain some vote share, the same coterie will believe that it doesn't matter who leaves the party, we will carry on and we are going to do even better. So that misbelief is an even more dangerous consequence for elections 2024, which is what you've titled your show as.
Before I go to Asif Bhamla on this, Dilip, why do you think, okay, the Congress has its own problems, every state has a tragic story. In the case of your brother-in-law, there were a mother-son duo. You're obviously talking about Vijender Singh's family that thought themselves to be larger than life. Every state has camps like this. I take your point, but why does the BJP need some of these people? I don't mean, of course, Harsh Mahajan, but I mean, why does the BJP today want to take in a Gourav Vallabh, whom Tehseen argues could not win even when he was given the opportunity? Why do you think that's happening, or do you think that is psychological warfare?
There are three elements to this. One, psychological warfare. Second, the BJP recognizes that despite the fact that it has a election machine that can relentlessly win elections, it is based on a structure which is top down and completely no questions asked. Because it recognizes that it needs to inject live political bacteria of a certain kind into its body politic to prepare for a state of affairs post 2024. It is preparing for that. Number three, it knows that it can actually control and completely manipulate those who are joining the party. Many have had to wait, and you know the number of people who've had to wait for 1 year, 2 years after they joined the party before they get any role whatsoever. My brother-in-law is a happy exception, but let me tell you that 80% of those who join today will have a waiting period during which time their patience will be tested, their skills will be tested, and their political usability will be tested. They will not be rewarded otherwise. And that is because the BJP has a fairly robust system of assessing the usefulness of any candidate.
You know, we're seeing pictures from, on our screen there. Yes, of your brother-in-law, Harsh Mahajan. You spoke about how maybe if things had been run differently in the Congress, it's all now water under the bridge, he may not have left. But I want you to just speak a little bit. Can we go back to those pictures, please? I want you to speak a little bit about, what makes an old-time congressman leave.
As I said, old-time congressmen are always reluctant to leave. They have an ideological fit with the Congress. But when personality types who are encouraged or who are not reined in run amok, whether it is in Rajasthan, whether it is in Punjab, whether it is in Madhya Pradesh, where 16,000 people are supposed to have left, the fact is that the local satraps run crazy, especially at a time when the central organization is not smart enough to have ears on the ground and be able to respond, as I said, on a 24/7 basis. Tehseen spoke several times about Ahmed Patel. The fact is that you cannot get people like that. You have to create and spot talent of that quality. Is that talent spotting happening? The fact is that it is not.
Tehseen, we forget today that Asif Bhamla was also once with the Congress. I'm sure he'll have his own story on why he switched. So this is actually going to be a personal account for him. Tehseen, one sentence, because Mr. Bhamla and Anurag have really been waiting.
Yeah. Sorry, I apologize to both of them, but two things. I'm really, I agree with what Dilip said. In fact, I'm petrified with what Dilip says. It's not that they retain the same vote percentage. God forbid they get a few more seats. It will appear as if Modi lost the election or hum jeet gaye. And I'm not kidding. The arrogance of the people running it. Barkha, Rahul will tell you कि ये होना चाहिए. They, वो उनके पीए के पीए ऐसे behave करते हैं जैसे कि मतलब it's astounding. Which, and I'm not talking about me. I'm nobody. I'm talking about MPs who tell me, etc. It is astounding the arrogance with which they are. But also, all of that, if you can win an election, that's good. They are surrendering to people like Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray who didn't know their MLAs went away. So they are actually, this domination is only within that little circle. If you are actually dominating like how Modi and Amit Shah are, that it dominate everyone else in alliance, at least there's some faida of it. What are they doing? They're dominating those who can't do anything, but actually surrendering meekly to, in this case, to the Shiv Sena doesn't have an organization. Can you imagine how cut off it is? One, and I'll tell you the next point and then let the others speak.
Okay, yeah, let the others speak. Asif Bhamla, it suddenly occurred to me midway during the show that we introduced Mr. Bhamla as a national spokesperson, but he himself on this kind of program has a personal story. You were till not so long ago a congressman, much like Dilip described Harsh Mahajan in Himachal Pradesh, spoke about rival camps, local satraps who can run crazy. I'm sure you had your own experience. So before you give the BJP's perspective on why the BJP wants these fellows, what made someone like you switch?
I was born in the Congress, but I was a students' union leader, and I was barely 19. And I remember the late Dutt Sahab who brought me into politics. He's been my mentor. And of course, I was, आपकी काबिलियत ही कभी-कभी आपका, आपकी हार का कारण बन जाती है. And that's what I realized. Though Mr. Dutt was very fond of me, he really wanted, but of course, the local leaders here, I don't want to name, they themselves showed that they were very loyal with the Congress, and today they have left the Congress and they have joined the NCP. I don't know if I don't want to relate to anybody by naming or shaming anybody, but I'm sure the message is there. Because of them, I was not given a ticket, and then I had to apparently join the Nationalist Congress Party, and then I fought an election for a corporation. Then I joined and then I had to fight the election of an MLA also from the NCP. So apparently, then I realized that even NCP में भी वही कुछ एक ही किस्म का कुछ ज़्यादा कुछ अंतर नहीं है वहाँ भी इसी किस्म का सब चल रहा था जद्दोजहद. And then I said चलिए then I suddenly got a reference from Devendra ji and the BJP, so I said let me go here. But I think I'm doing fine here, and but things are a little better off. We know what we are cut off for, so we know what we have to do, and we don't have to get much into other areas where we are not deputed to. Coming back to this image, for that I think we should sit on a separate story, because that's my personal story with the Congress, which I would exhibit when the phases in which I went through, because Congress was something which was very embedded in us. We grew up in that ecosystem. But anyways, one have
But
to
now
move
tell
ahead to
me,
the.
speaking as a BJP spokesperson and leader, why does your party want these people? I understand why the Congress can't hold on to them. I understand in Himachal Pradesh, Harsh Mahajan successfully solidifies his political future. But there are others who have been taken in other states who may not necessarily bring electoral value. Is this psychological warfare, as Dilip Cherian says? What is it?
देखिए पहले तो मैं ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ आधा काम तो मेरा तहसीन नहीं कर दिया बिकॉज ही स्पोक आई मीन इट लुक लाइक एज दो he's echoing our voice only, so thank you for that, Tehseen. But having come back to what you're saying, the party has if you're talking about the position in which the Congress is, it's purely because of the way it has been dealing with. Now, Tehseen mentioned Ahmed Patel, so you have to carve another Ahmed Patel. Now he's gone. I mean, he's no more. We're all his well-wishers. I've
But
also
that's the
been.
Congress. Why do you want these people? Why do you
देखिए
want?
yes, okay.
Why
So
do you
I'm going to
want
answer that.
Gaurav?
भारतीय
Why do
जनता
you want
पार्टी. Yes.
Gaurav Vallabh, who was one
Yeah.
of the fiercest critics of the
Okay.
Prime Minister? I want to understand this. Why do you want?
Okay. Let me submit. I understand. Bharatiya Janata Party is the largest, the tallest political party in terms of memberships, in terms of members, in terms of leader. Today, not alone in India and in the world, is something you accept that, right? But यदि कोई आना चाह रहा है खुद अपनी इच्छा से और एक जिसको अनुभव है जिसे वहां न्याय नहीं मिला और अगर हमारे साथ जुड़ना चाह रहा है और जुड़कर अभी जैसे संजय निरुपम है अभी आप कुछ लोगों के लिए तो कहते हो कि भाई जिन लोगों को आप वॉशिंग मशीन के लिए लेते हो अब अभी गौरव वल्लभ के लिए आप क्या कहोगे मिलिंद देवरा के लिए क्या कहोगे तो ऐसे भी अच्छे लोग हैं जो जो गुणवान व्यक्ति है.
Asif sir, someone in the live stream says everyone's entitled to look for their future. Barkha, you switched companies, they're telling me, to have a better future. The Congress is a directionless ship run by a clueless captain. Right now, this is coming in our live stream, and I'm sure Tehseen will have things to say about it. But Anurag, as someone who supports
I need to submit.
Okay.
I need to submit.
Okay.
I've not completed Barkha my points yet.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't get a fair chance compared to the others.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that the people are seeing कि ये जो गठबंधन है, give me a little fair time because I have not submitted at all. The people that are seeing this are seeing that ये क्या गठबंधन है या विगठबंधन है. There are many aspects. अगर आप वो देखें रामलीला मैदान की जो रैली है उसमें सारे नेता बैठे थे जरूर एक मंच पे लेकिन क्या वो एक दूसरे के साथ और समर्थन में अगर आप देखें तो वहां पर सीपीआई बैठा था लेकिन सीपीआई वही राहुल गांधी के विरोध में है इन केरला. Coming back to TMC, वहां पे उनका प्रतिनिधित्व बैठा था but he was again they're opposing against the Congress tooth and nail like enemies in West Bengal to the extent that they didn't even want to welcome or meet Rahul Gandhi when he was there at his yatra there. Third, if you see the Uddhav Thackeray faction who was there very much on the dais, they totally disagree. They are staying there, they're sitting there on this, but they totally disagree on Savarkar, Article 370 पे आपके. तो ये जो गठबंधन है इससे लोग और पार्टी के नेता भी कंफ्यूज है कि हम क्या करें किस दिशा में जाए क्यों कि पार्टी ने अपनी एक निर्णायक भूमिका नहीं दिखा पा रही कहीं ना कहीं.
Sorry, so I don't mean to give you less time, but I want to get Anurag, who's also a supporter of the government at the center. Do you believe, as a supporter of the BJP, the BJP is diluting itself in some ways by taking some of these leaders? Obviously, in some cases, there's electoral value. There's added value. It isn't just the leaders who are seeking a better future. It's also the BJP gaining something. But that's not evenly applied. Everyone's not a Harsh Mahajan in Himachal Pradesh. Anurag, and just unmute yourself at your end. You've muted yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, Barkha. So, Barkha, it goes two ways. Yeah, sometimes the organization has to, like you said, political winnability, political accommodation is different. But I would say BJP is also more looking at organizational expansion. All these big people who are shifting, I can tell you some of the names who are billionaires, millionaires, who have been with several other parties. They are resources because party feeds or BJP feeds. Maybe not electorally, but I can use them somewhere else. They want to grow every look and corner. Like, there were memes saying that BJP is going to contest in Europe and America and all. If you ask a BJP leader today, why not? They would just say, why not? We may well go and contest. So that's the kind of a spirit that they bring in. So they want to grow every length and breadth. And also, let's understand, Barkha, there is a problem with Congress. Your leader should first have winnability for themselves. Now, look at Prime Minister Modi. One seat in Varanasi, he completely takes over the whole Hindi heartland. That's the kind of influence. But Rahul Gandhi lost twice. I mean, once. Again, he's going to lose one now. In Wayanad, he's dependent on the Muslim League and the local leaders. Again, not whole true blue Congress. So you have to build an organization, because you have to see the spectrum of leadership across India is increasing, and the parties have to offer them with their growing aspirations. BJP as a party.
I understand your point about bigger ambition, but I don't understand why it doesn't potentially lead to what Tehseen has sometimes called the congressification of the BJP. I think Tehseen's exact phrase, Tehseen, you want to just come in for a minute? I think you said the BJP is the new Congress.
The BJP is the new Congress. This election is between Congress Rahul Gandhi, Congress Modi.
Anurag, do you want to respond to that?
I will say I would say it is BJP-fication of congressmen, because I'll tell you how it works. Because if it was a typical Congress, I'll give you one example, Barkha. Very recently, I was having a scheduled meeting with the General Secretary Organization of Andhra Pradesh, right? GVL was sitting outside waiting for a meeting, and he's a member of parliament also from Andhra Pradesh. The ticket distribution goes. I went for a scheduled meeting. The PA comes to the Organization Secretary's chamber, says, "Sir, GVL better." The secretary says, "Kitna time hua? 5 minutes hua, baithenge." So he will, so in Congress, what happens, if you're an MP or a minister, you walk through. I was at an organization, APVPs, one of the initiatives in Bangalore at the stage. The organization, only 4 people were sitting on the stage. Mr. Yedurappa was sitting down in the audience. Tejas Surya was on the 10th bench. So it doesn't happen in Congress. In Congress, the MP walks in and takes over the stage.